Yo, what up, ladies and gentle ducks? Welcome back to the madness, because of course the madness never ends. The madness just, needs to like shop for dopamine because there's nothing arriving in the mail to expect, and the madness requires dopamine. Yep, that makes sense. Anyway, I am, of course, that guy, Ex Incognito. This is another edition of Evil Ninja Space Pirate Radio. Thanks for joining. Chuck us a like, subscribe, follow, whatever makes sense depending on what platform you're watching this. We are going to play some more Stray Gods. But before we do, perhaps you caught the last stream I did, or you can also watch it on YouTube, Evil Ninja Space Pirate Radio, because I happened to get a code for the Tekken 8 closed beta test. And I played a little bit on stream. I also played a bit off stream just because I wasn't really able to stream at the time. It was good. I really enjoyed it. It was good stuff. I'm looking forward to the full release, which I think is early next year. May have to get that Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, all these there are too many really good games coming out at the moment, and I want to play them all. It's a real problem. But first, we're gonna get through this game, being Stray Gods, which I really enjoy, and I keep getting distracted by other games. I also haven't finished Armored Core 6 either. Too many good games coming out. Too many. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's also, I've got to work. I don't get paid enough for this. I don't get paid for this. If you want to donate, feel free to donate. I haven't set up any kind of donation. Maybe I should, but just, someone nice may decide, hey, I have some money. I certainly wouldn't turn it down. But anyway, I can't do this full time. I gotta work. I gotta do other things as well. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna boot up the game. That's what we are going to do. So let's get to it, baby. We're gonna go bottom left, I think, what we were doing. I'm gonna try and have this on between students. Between students or between... Aren't you a student or are you a teacher? I'm confused. Or are you a tutor? Anyway, hi Rando. Do your students, if you have students, do they call you Mr. Random? Because that would be amusing. In between taking pictures of students. Okay. Oh, okay. Nothing sus, I hope. Yeah. Yes, they all call me Mr. Random. If they seriously do, that's awesome. Alright, now I need, this time around, I'm going to make sure I'm playing... Holy shit. You're a school photographer. Nice. I just realized it's got the Raven skull there. I'm actually considering getting that as a tattoo because the tattoo place I got my last tattoo at, they're doing a flash sale for Halloween, which also happens to be my birthday. So what I said before about, donations, if you would like to donate to the cause of my birthday, feel free. But yeah, one of the options for the flash is a Raven skull, which I think I may actually get, especially I think that may happen. But let's make sure we load the correct game, which is that one. No, they don't, because I go to different schools but anytime I'm around groups of kids, I should start telling them to call me Mr. Random. Yes! Introduce yourself as Mr. Random. Do it. I dare you. I'm sure if daring you is the right term. But just do it, okay? Just do it. Yes, let's mingle a little. This game creates a lot of autosaves, seemingly. Mingle a little? I guess that's what we're doing. Alright, let's mingle. Single and ready. All right. We're here. So, Aphrodite is about to, metamorphosize, let's say. If you understand the concept of the 13th card in tarot, you know what I'm talking about? Or is it the 8th card? I feel like it's the 13th card. Anyway, let's talk to Apollo. Apollo! Unfortunately, I wanted to get through this scene before
Back again.
Finishing the last stream, but apparently I was not able to. Aphrodite won't help.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these things. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for ruining her party.
Do what you feel is right. It's a risk either way.
Yes, it is, my birthday in a week from today. Yes, my birthday is Halloween, which just makes a whole lot of sense. So, Tuesday. So next Tuesday. I think I've got that day off work. I am totally booking in. I've got to contact Intuitive Inc. and book in. Maybe not like right at this second, but I've got to book in. I need to get a new tattoo on my birthday, because that'll be my birthday present for myself. Alright. Have you met
Have you
Venus?
spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I'm
I
quite okay
suppose
with
that
it.
depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
I guess begin the ritual. Let's do it. Anything? Yeah, that would suck, I think.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell
There's
once
gonna
again.
be a song.
But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here, to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong.
Just get softer.
We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited
waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. We sought shelter from the shadows, but were soon ripped from the dark. Those mortal souls that ended us were jealous from the start. They hunted me for power to fuel their psychopathic cause. And once they fell before me and worshipped all I was, they chased me down and threw me in a cage, held me prisoner for so long. I thought I'd win their hearts again. I was wrong. I was wrong. I see you have the power. It's a poisonous reward. My virtues only scorn me when I was once adored, loved by every mortal, then ripped from paradise. No one suffered greater till he made his sacrifice. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me, he struck a deal with our enemy's enemy, made a secret weapon so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory, and this love I'll never know is what he gave to
Oh, really? That's so.
I can't believe what I'm hearing today. If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. I can't imagine. I feel like a child who grew up too fast. The goddess of love can't get past the past. What good is a flame when everything's ash? I can't imagine.
There's no excuse, but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know. You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine
I can imagine.
this really happened? I won't let you weep, you know it's too late. Sing me to sleep, pity my fate. My memories won't let me be.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment.
Step forward, sweet Venus, my angel, you know what to do. Though I live forever, for now I'll be inside of you. And while I'm sleeping, you'll be my soul guardian. Would Hephaestus thank you for your sacrifice? Would he light a candle and still fight the fight? How do we get through the night? Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. If anyone would know about the mysteries of love, you would know. Only you can decide. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment.
Hmm.
Are you...
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I'd feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I wonder if you can actually convince her to not go through with it. I mean, I was picking my personal options that felt right to me, to not try to take away her agency in this and leave the decision be hers. But, I wonder if you convince her to not.
I'll help if I can. If I'm still, you know.
I would really like that, Grace.
I honestly hope you get the chance. The fact that you came, it meant so much to her. And to me. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I have a theory.
Not exactly, but it has to be an idol. One with influence.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Something with influence, well...
It had to be someone who knew Calliope and wanted her gone, with enough knowledge and power to
I
fool the
suspect Athena.
chorus. It also had to be someone who could get into the reliquary and attack her there, right under the noses of both
Does
Hecate
seem
and
a
the
little too
Minotaur.
obvious, perhaps.
Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated,
I was
frightened
potentially
even,
suspect
but she wouldn't explain
Apollo.
why. She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
What kind of plan?
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with. If only we'd known she was going to the reliquary. How on earth did she even get in?
She used the key, the one Pan gave her. When Calliope arrived, she dropped it. Then she laughed and said she'd better not lose it because Pan won't give me another key to the reliquary. I didn't know it was important.
Well, there's your help, Grace. I certainly don't know more than that.
Key to the reliquary?
Come now,
That's something I already knew.
Venus. It's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Thank you for everything, Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
It was a good song.
So, did they have anything helpful?
Lost in a song. Who might be innocent? Sorry, what?
I'm not sure. He might have an
Pan?
explanation for this. Again.
He has a way of making things seem reasonable, it's true, but that doesn't make him a villain.
I guess. Aren't you the one who first said he was probably guilty?
Worth investigating still. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What Aphrodite went through, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the life of an immortal. It never ends.
Wow. Way to really sell it, Apollo.
So,
What was
I
that?
have a question.
What
I know
was
you're
that?
angry with Pan, but I also noticed something in how you speak of him. Am I correct in believing there's something there?
What? I mean, I think I know what he's asking here.
I really don't get him. Hot one minute, cold the next. You can never tell where he stands on anything.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh,
Don't underestimate him, but also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Every time I say Persephone, I just think of, what's my name?
Apollo.
My name?
Always so
Our
dramatic.
Lady of
Well
the
done, by the way.
Underground.
And cheers to you, Aphrodite. You shall be missed. For a few years, at least.
I still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. She's been in hell since the war. And you were only a visitor. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Do you remember who you were before?
I still am her. Chastity, that is. You can see why I switched names. I remember being disgusted I was ever that weak. Persephone made me strong. But it never really goes away. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
No, really.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Why would you ask me that?
You are not as difficult to read as you believe, Grace.
That's a weird image, non-image. Who do I like more, Pan or Persephone? Apparently, I need to make some kind of a choice here. Shall I leave it up to fate? Leave it up to fate. So, I don't know if you can see the coin. If we get that, we go with I like you more, or perhaps more. So that, or if we get that, we go with he's fun. Try that again.
What he is incredibly frustrating and nothing at all like you.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now.
Oh, we're getting a song.
After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I, I'm queen of the underworld, and you praise you. Something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago?
Portrait of Calliope in the background. Interesting.
Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages. So I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution. You and I. I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace.
Sure, she did.
You sure seem to think a lot of my loyalty when we met. You weren't very keen on me. Now you're suggesting we have mutual enemies. What's changed? You've got one big mouth on you, don't you? Yet it's me who's closing in. Think I like that mouth on you, won't you? You've overstayed your
Oh,
welcome.
okay.
Time to go home.
That was.
Get out of here, Grace.
Oh, yep. That was abrupt. Well, alrighty then. Huh. Righto. Can I talk to her again? I mean, there's an option to.
You've returned. I'm glad. I've had time to do some thinking.
Really? You
After
had like a minute.
Aphrodite's party, we never really spoke about the Eidolon and Calliope's memories. No doubt you have many questions.
Apollo told me a little about it. He did say I should talk to you, though.
Did he now? Is there anything you'd like to ask?
Certainly.
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
First, you'll have dreams. Places you've never been, people you've never met. But unlike with normal dreams, these will linger. Then they will come while you're awake. Sudden flashes or snippets of déjà vu. And sometimes it will seem so real you'll swear you're hallucinating. If there's anything difficult about the process, is that it becomes hard to differentiate between your life and all these other lives you're now recalling.
It does sound confusing.
Confusing and often unpleasant, as not all the memories will be fond ones. But that will pass in time.
Nice to remember.
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Oh, how do I explain this? Grace, would you say that you are who you are because of your experiences? The things you've lived and done?
I guess so, sure.
Well, all the things Calliope has done, and those before her, will now be yours. They will feel like a part of your life as well. Thus, they can't help but shape you. The Grace that is now will be and will have done so much more. Fortunately, you don't have to deal with every memory. Each time the Eidolon passes on, the oldest memories fade, and that helps.
How is fading memory a
Wait,
good thing?
how is it good that old memories start to fade?
Think of how old we are, Grace. If all those memories returned to you with perfect clarity, they would destroy you.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Well, far more than we remember. The further I think back, the more it becomes a bit of a blur, actually. You'll recall important moments. Some will be mixed up with the stories mortals tell, and you won't be sure which is the memory and which is the story. An idol's memory is a series of islands in a dark ocean, and they become smaller and smaller as they recede into the horizon. It sounds dire, but you become accustomed to it. It just takes time, and now you have all the time in the world.
How many times have you?
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
We call
You
it
just
passing
did.
on. I've lost track of just how many times I've passed on my Eidolon. A dozen? It's happened less often in more recent eras.
And the one you told me about, the woman married to that gangster? She was the most recent?
I don't think of Chastity as a she. That was me, just as the one my husband blasted with a shotgun was also me. It was one of the few times I wasn't able to prepare my successor. We were friends, yes, but I didn't know what Persephone was, and I had no idea what I'd just become.
That must have been difficult.
It was more difficult taking over my dead husband's territory. Women weren't often mobsters in those days.
Really, a gangster?
Were you really a gangster? I've heard it said, but it sounds...
Let me put it this way. I felt as if I'd been blessed by a dying woman who saved me from a prison of my own making. I didn't know what I was, but I was free. I felt more alive than I'd ever felt before, and strong enough to toss an ox 10 feet. Did I set out to become a mobster? Not exactly. My husband's friends thought I'd murdered him, however, so they came after me. And one thing led to another.
Oh, I see.
Athena found me just as my memories were starting to return. I wasn't permitted to continue doing something so noticeable, so I was carted off to Olympus. It's too bad, really. I was an excellent mobster.
Possible guy.
Wait, you said that Persephone passed on her Eidolon as she lay dying. What if she had just died?
The Eidolon will keep us alive for a time, even in the most horrific circumstances, in hopes that there's someone to pass it on to.
What if there isn't? What if Chastity had died before you were shot?
Well, then the line of Persephone would have ended then and there. Oh, there are some stories that say an Eidolon will go wandering, that it never really dies. And who knows if there's any truth to that.
I don't.
It's not exactly something we've had the opportunity to study. All we know is that many idols have left us forever. They've died, and that's how it happens.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Either the trial will end poorly, in which case all of this is moot, or it will end well, and you will have plenty of time to digest.
Yeah, thanks for the update.
I'm a realist, Grace. It's what I'm best at. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
Oh, I have a bunch of other questions, apparently.
What's the deal between you and Apollo? The way you two fight.
I've told you how he and the other idols stood by and let me rot with Hades, did I not?
It seems more personal than that.
Okay, there's an old saying that no one escapes the underworld. But that's not true. I did. Once.
Wait.
Not long after
Why do you have
Hades
this
kidnapped
conversation?
me. I was homesick, and I missed my mother. Charon took pity on me and allowed me across the Styx. And after that, Grace, I waded through darkness itself to get out of there.
And this is
Hades
basically the
chased
story of
after me
Hades, the game.
relentlessly, but I evaded him, right up until I got to the very slopes of Olympus. And who do you suppose was the first idol I met?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Apollo stood there. I cried out to him, begging him not to let Hades take me, and yet Apollo did as he has always done. Absolutely nothing. Hades was thrilled, and I knew then and there I could never rely on my so-called family for anything, ever again.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
One of them was, though not like you think. The day we were to leave on the ship, Talia simply never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never heard from her again. Apollo thrashed about in mourning, but, Talia had been fading away for years. It wasn't a surprise to the rest of us.
What about the other muse, Cleo?
Died long before. A victim at the hands of a mortal man, when she no longer possessed the power to bedazzle him. As I understand it, he kept her in a cage as a pet until her Eidolon shriveled up and perished. He was dead before she was.
yikes.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we come by our wariness of mortals honestly, Grace.
Yikes. Okay.
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
That's putting it mildly.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
Honestly, after my mother was murdered, I barely remember.
Your mother?
Yeah.
Her name was Demeter. Not truly my mother, but an idol who had always cared for me since the early days. I thought we'd be together forever. Then Ares brought those filthy bastards down on us. Demeter was slain by bullets. Until that day, I had believed we were untouchable.
Why would Ares do that? Did he get anything out of it in the end, or...?
What he got was a final death. A few of us hunted him down, and made sure he paid for his betrayal. He choked on his own blood. As for why he did it, who knows? He thought us a lost cause. He wanted glory. He wanted more than we had, living in secret. After that, I don't know. We went from hiding place to hiding place. I didn't even know what Hephaestus had done for us when I found myself on a boat. We might have been gods once, but after the war, we were just refugees, like so many others, fleeing to a distant land.
Was it hard?
Was it hard for the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't the place that was hard, it was the fear. We knew we were vulnerable. We knew mortals could and would kill us. Suddenly, there were rules. We had to be secret. We had to stay close together. We huddled in the shadows and quaked each time the mortals so much as breathed in our direction. We couldn't all live that way. Some of us drifted away, faded into the night without so much as an explanation. That's what's been the hard part. Our inevitable decline in a place where we don't belong. We can pass on our eidolons as often as we like, but it will never truly be home.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Oh yes, that's where I'll be. Around.
I'm sure I've heard her say that. Alright, well, let's go home. Hey,
Oh,
it's Hermes.
hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
Oh yeah,
That's my name.
remember me
Where's Freddy?
mentioning Erika
She
Ishii?
went out to get snacks. We
I
were
think
gonna watch
Erika Ishii
TV
is
while
the
we
voice of
waited,
Hermes.
but well, here you are.
Looking for me.
Waited. Were you looking for me?
All over, yeah. Athena sent me to find you, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, you must have been busy.
Yeah, because I stand trial soon.
Right. Right, that makes sense. Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
I really want to get the fridge letters so that I can do that and put the word fridge on my fridge. Because, how else will I know that it's a fridge if I don't do that?
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
Do you like running?
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Interesting. You knew the old Hermes
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot.
for reasons.
You knew him?
Reasons?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in.
I'm not sure what that's
Everyone's
referencing.
on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
Do I have a choice?
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
Fridge magnets. Oh, yeah. I need to get some. I'm sure I could get them from like Kmart or Cheapest Chips or something.
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she
They're
just
my two biggest suspects,
never
Apollo
leaves
and
the
Athena.
building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
Let's go.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
What? Oh, what? You can pick a second trait? That's interesting. Or do I have to change my trait? Is it this changing my trait or picking a second one? Well, my nature is... I'm not an aggressive person. I'm really not. So... I try to be charming, I guess.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Am I not supposed to be proving my innocence? Would you prefer I did nothing?
I'd prefer you didn't break any other rules in the meantime.
Such as? Do you have a list I can read, or do you just make them up as you go?
You think our judgment was rash. It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
See, where is it? I want to say this. Like you care about Medusa.
Like you care about Medusa? She lives like that because you cursed her. Have you even tried to undo it? I'm betting not, because she's useful like this, and that's where your caring ends.
I feel like it's too obvious that it's Athena.
Zeus was the first to leave. king of the gods, and we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next, walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered, and by one of our own. The list goes on.
There's no maid or butler. Probably the closest to being a maid or butler would be Pan. Why tell me
I've
this?
heard most of that, sure. What does it have to do with me?
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean
Grammys?
diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is
Hermes
disappearing.
probably the least suspicious.
Very soon now,
Hence,
the idols will be no
probably
more.
actually the biggest suspect.
We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
Could have helped you.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
He reminds me a lot of Ozymandias from Watchmen. Which, you know, he was the villain in that.
Who
can-
has access to the reliquary? Is
You'd
it
think that.
anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Well, that would have been Pan.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope then?
How do you not know this?
I see.
Of course you
Speaking
know.
of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected,
She's
perhaps
so
not. I cannot afford the risk of
obviously
uncertainty, Grace. I'm
Kind
sorry.
of suspicious that it's a little too obvious.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Again, if you wish. What of her?
Was I right? That you haven't even tried to undo the curse that you inflicted on her?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do exactly?
Remove the curse.
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else?
Yeah, I don't.
What do you know of Pan?
Pan?
Yeah, it's like
That's
too
not a name I
obvious.
expected to hear.
been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh yeah.
And lurks at the edges
That's
because he
what I
likes
mean.
it
It's
there,
like too
seeking out whatever
obvious.
profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
You're just saying that, but you
Is that
just
where your
doubted Pan
investigation
because
has
like
led you?
Pan.
To Pan?
But I don't know. Pan is definitely suspicious. But don't know. I don't know if he's suspicious because he killed Calliope or that's just kind of his nature. Yeah.
Sort of, but I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me
She's a
out?
It
bit of
would
a
be
snake.
helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
I guess I'll get back to my
Really nice
investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Yeah, just
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever
it's
things
just-
get rough.
it's a little too
As if she believes
obvious.
that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
It's not Pan. I don't know. I know.
Do you think she's telling the truth? About the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh. What now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
I
You
bet I
know,
it.
Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
How do we get in?
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
Reliquary has a lot.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
You sure this will
Are you
work?
sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work
I
after
think
the
Apollo,
transition,
Athena,
but
and Pan.
no,
are
I'm
probably
not certain. You want
the biggest
certainty? Wait until your
suspects, to be
trial.
honest.
Without discovering
don't
more,
suspect
the outcome of
Persephone at all.
that is certain.
Or an Aphrodite.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any
Hermes,
suggestions
maybe?
regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
There's no
Is there
way.
really no other
I will
way?
be right back.
This seems a bit desperate.
That's because we are desperate, Grace. Either we take this shot at learning the truth, or we overthrow Athena and the chorus by force, and disregard this stupid trial.
She's joking, right? She's joking, right?
Okay. I have returned. Be interesting. I mean, possibly. I am led to pretend. I believe there are multiple endings, so maybe.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
It would be a twist. Okay, let's do this.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you
Maybe
want to do
Freddy's
this,
the
Grace?
murderer.
Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
Yeah, I mean, kind of intense, yes.
Wow. All that for me?
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Okay, so either Freddy distracts Hecate, be honest with Hecate, or stick in the back way. I trust in Freddy. Got this, Freddy.
I must admit, the book is confusing.
You didn't like it?
I once knew a vampire. He did not sparkle, nor would you have swooned in his presence.
Huh. I don't know if it was meant to be taken that seriously.
Then I fail to understand the point.
Wait, did she just show Hecate Twilight? Word. Well, you should have walked. I suppose you had equipment.
Do not worry. It is written that I am not alerted to Grace's presence for another 14 minutes.
Guess I'll keep talking then.
Okay, first part down. Now I finally get to see what the reliquary actually looks like.
What? It's written that I'm not alerted to Grace's presence for another 14 minutes.
Pretty impressive, innit?
You know that...
Don't wander around.
Going to...
Labyrinths are kind of my thing, but you'll get lost. Also, are you supposed to be here?
That hurts my head. Oh, I ain't walking to go cart full shit. Yeah, I just said that. You can repay me? I have permission. Yeah.
Hecate told me I could look around, so long as I don't touch anything.
Kate said that?
Yeah, she did. I'll make it quick, I promise. You can even come with me, if you like.
Yeah, I gotta ask Kate. She's really specific about this stuff, and I don't want to make her mad.
Yeah. Late for that, probably.
Oh no, wait! Oh, this is so bad.
Okay. I don't hear anything. I think I'm all right.
Ah, this is the
Sorry I
Minotaur's
had to leave
maze.
you back there, Freddy. I hope you're okay.
Minotaur's maze is
First
a library.
things first, how do I do this?
Well, reliquary.
Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus.
Oh, hello. Is that a memory? I guess it would have to be. Yeah, she's tapping into Calliope's memories. I can gather. Essentially, I mean, it is Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey, so...
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
Like, you really gonna get Ashley Johnson to just sing one song? Egg. Apple. Egg. Be an egg. Instruments, I guess, is that? No, that's the trident. Instrument. That? Mask. That's obvious. Apple. Branch, yeah. Scroll. There. Statue. Oh, that's the statue. So... those two things... oh, or that? Oh, we can see. Oh, so that's the egg. Ah, yeah. That was the front of the statue. Mask. Good mask. Trident. Poseidon's trident. Apple. Midas's? Oh, that's Midas's apple. I guess to do with Hermes, potentially. Scroll, statue, perhaps to do so. I'm gonna look at the scroll.
I don't even know what language that is.
Oh, well, that was the point. Let's look at Apple. Midas's apple.
Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me?
Okay.
What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am.
Why did... okay. That happened from choosing the apple. Which one's probably the right one? Poseidon's trident?
Is this an armory, too? What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right?
Choice effect outcome. Maybe? Don't know. There's something there that's not an option. Well, there's two things there that aren't options. The two things at the back, the compass looking thing and the diamond coin thing, and also the cup, the chalice. Those aren't options. But now the mirror is an option when it wasn't before. I think I can look at all the other things and then the mirror is the correct option, I think. I'm guessing.
They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing. don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it? Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
Probably. I mean, this kind of is the music.
Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both.
Yeah, figured as much because the mirror was not an original option.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she...
Well, what?
Uh-oh.
What in the flying duck sauce? We can talk
I don't suppose
about
there's any chance you'll put those knives away.
Who the... What the...
Okay, then.
And suddenly oh my god, she's going to make whatever those things are sing. Oh. Well, she's going to try. I think those things aren't sentient.
What's happening?
I think they're
Why
just
didn't
kind
it
of
work?
Automatons. Kind of. Yeah, I don't think those things actually have actual thoughts. Jesus. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Who is?
Grace?
Ah, hey, Freddy!
Freddy! We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
Jesus! It's like something out of Doctor Who. Things are worse than bloody weeping angels. Maybe not worse, but same part. Freddy, what are you doing?
No, I won't let you.
Ah!
Freddy! Oh God. Oh God, Freddy.
Okay, right?
By the gods.
You were a bit late.
You summoned the Furies.
That's who they were, the Furies.
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the
Nyx's
Fates.
mirror?
Using the
Not
mirror
the
would not have
baseball
brought the Furies
Furies.
down upon you. Not unless the Fates
Furies,
themselves decreed it.
Megara, Electo, and... Oh, what was the name of the other Fury? You need to help Freddy!
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy.
They killed
You
Freddy?
need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
anything, Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Bruh. 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 So, full disclosure, I knew that was coming at some point. I didn't know it was coming right then, but I knew it was coming at some point. Because that was the thing that got spoiled for me watching when I went to the panel about Stray Gods at PAX. They mentioned during said panel that Freddy dies. And I was just sort of like, wait, what? I didn't know how it was going to go down, and pretty much when she jumped out to defend Grace just then, I was like, oh crap, this is it, isn't it? Still pretty damn impactful though. Oh, and that's the end of Act 2.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price...
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Yeah, well, who can
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be, I'm afraid I have no clue.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey, from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
In Hades, you fight the Furies. In fact, I think one of the Furies is the first boss. My recollection.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
Yeah,
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command, or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Can these fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take.
Oh, hello.
Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Okay. Apollo being mega sus right now.
Why are you here, Apollo? You made it clear I was on my own.
Well, you're not on your own, are you? You have the selfless Persephone to guide you.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Persephone kinda acting sus too?
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But that's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
Was another crazy plan, right?
Grace,
I know,
Both
I
of
know,
them
but
are acting hella
there's
sus
no
all of a
point in
sudden.
stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Huh. Yeah, you should have led with that.
Wait, what? Freddy's in Hades? What? Persephone, why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't want it to seem like I was playing on your sympathy, Grace.
But you'll play on mine. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
This is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Hey, Freddy, or is it the last piece of puzzle? I mean, he doesn't need to know what to say, Freddy.
It's the only way to find out why Calliope was trying to contact the Fates.
The Fates?
There's something going on, Hermes. I'm at the edge of it, but without the Fates, I'll never know the truth.
And that means going to Hades, with or without Athena's permission.
Okay.
What?
Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
Yeah, Orpheus
I
knows
think I
that
can
well.
tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
Okay, there's a save that just got made. I'm going to call it there.
Welcome to the real underworld.
Not sure. Not sure. No, it's voiced by a female. As for, yeah, not specified really. But it is also specified that bio says they. Well, fair enough. I mean, it is established that the idols are not locked into particular genders. Also, yeah, I was with that Intuitive Ink, that flash they're doing for Halloween. I saw that the Raven Skull was one of the options, and seeing it here makes you think, okay, I think I will get that. I just don't know where. Somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to call it there for now. I think so. But yes. That will do for tonight. No, not that. That big will do. Alright. So, yes. It is time to blow this popsicle stand. So, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be awesome, because that's what you are. Till next time, true believers. Excelsior.